Hey guys, MC Mora here, and yesterday I did a tier list video, right? And tier lists are obviously very subjective. Everyone can talk about their own opinion, and everyone is free to have their own opinion, right? But one thing that you guys have absolutely showed me is that you got zero faith in Mr. Karate Man. A lot of you think that Ryu is still not good. He's nowhere near Luke, Ken, Akuma. He's not even in the same discussion. And that's what we're gonna talk about today, because I'm gonna show you that Ryu is probably a lot better than you think he is. I saw this comment that to me was really interesting, right? I've kinda wiped out the name so that no one can tag that person or anything, but I'm a Ryu main. This is the first time I have ever seen anybody ever put him in the same tier as Ken, right? Also, obviously, it's new season, so it's good to see him so high, but he's A tier at best. And this is the general sentiment. The general perception by a lot of people is that Ryu is weaker than the other Shotos, than Luke, than Akuma, than Ken, right? He requires a lot more attention to pilot. He cannot mindlessly throw things out like Ken and Akuma. Ryu has slower walk speed than both Shotos and worse frame data and hitboxes. He is supposed to make up for this by doing simple combos for high damage, but his neutral game is still a little worse than his peers, right? Alright. So let's discuss this, right? And the first thing that we need to discuss is the stats, right? He's slower, right? This is the perception, and again, I'm not attacking that person specifically, but this is the perception I saw, right? So obviously Akuma got a really fast walk speed, right? One of the fastest in the game. Where is Ryu? Ryu got the same forward walk as Yuri, as Ken, as Luke. Okay, but he walks slower backwards, right? This is the back walk speed. He got similar walk speed to Ken and Luke. Alright, and maybe his mobility, his dashes. This is his forward dash frames. He's the same as Ken and Luke. Maybe the back dash. Well, he's also the same as Ken as Luke. So, although it is perceived that Ryu is slower than Ken and Luke, that's not really the case. All of them got identical forward dash, forward walk, back dash speeds, right? So the perception that Ryu is slower than them, that's not true, right? So this is the first myth that we have debusted or debunked, right? Now, let's talk about his moves. Let's talk about his neutral that is perceived to be weak, right? And the first move I want to start off with is that standing medium kick. This is a classic Ryu poke. It is a 9-frame startup, which is really good. But Mura, Ryu's normal, they're not that great. The hitboxes are not that great, right? Check this out. Check out the disjoint on Ryu's standing medium kick, right? Are you seeing this? The red reaches further than the green, right? Well, let's compare it to Luke, right? Because Luke's standing medium kick, well, this is one of the gods, right? Luke's standing medium kick is a really good poke, right? And right now, it's 8-frame startup. Ryu's is 9 frames, so Ryu is 1 frame slower. That is correct, right? But what is Luke's reward? Ryu is +4, so if you're up close, you can get a jab into combo. Luke is only +1, which means that even on a punish counter, the best Luke can get is a combo into standing light kick, and that doesn't really work, as you can see. Even if I'm point blank, I'm not getting it, right? So Luke doesn't really get rewarded from this, right? On the other hand, Ryu is +8, which means that if you're close enough, and like let's say even here, you get a crouching medium kick, right, which is pretty great. And even if you're far, you still get a level 1 super, right? You can go Hadoken, right? So okay, I mean, that seems pretty good to me. Let's now talk about another normal that I do think is pretty amazing and people don't talk about it that much, even though I do think it's one of the best in the game. Yes, in the game. And that is his crouching medium punch. This move right now is super stupid actually. As you can see, let's check out the frame data again. Let's check out the hitbox. Insane disjoint, right? This move is extremely disjointed. See, the red far surpasses the green, right? And the frame data as well, it's 6 frame startup, which is premium for a medium in this game, and it's 4 frames active. And check this out, it is +5 on hit, which means that obviously like you can combo into a light kick and then get follow-ups. You can combo it into many things. If you got like Degen charge, you can combo it into the OD Hadoken and get ton of damage, right? But let's go back to it being 4 frame active. Right? 4 frame active, meaning that this move is amazing for shaking stuff like drive rush. Even if I'm doing my move early, because it's so active out there, there is a very good chance I'm not gonna get stuffed, right? So amazing hitbox, amazing activity, right? What is the best crouching medium in the game? It's Luke's, right? Because of its range. But check this out. Luke's crouching medium punch is 6 frame startup, right? But it's active for only 2 frames. It's only 2 frame active, right? Reus is double that. It's active for 4 frames and 22 total frames of recovery, while Luke's 24. So it's even less whiff punchable, right? You can literally whiff this in the neutral and it's almost impossible to get punched. It is literally impossible to get drive impacted. You can do this move, start it at the same time as an opponent drive impact, recover in time and DIs him back. And obviously because it's so active, you can always just react with your own DI, so it is tremendous. And since these guys are Shotos, people are gonna wanna compare their crouching medium kicks because this is a big part of their game plan, right? And Ken, he probably got the best one, right? Because he got a 7 frames crouching medium kick, right? And obviously he gets massive rewards out of it, good combos, corner carry and all of that, right? Reuse is 8 frames, right? So it's 1 frame slower. But check this out. Reuse crouching medium kick is 1 frame slower, but check this, right? So we're gonna stand right around here. Ken is gonna do his crouching medium kick. As you can see, Ken's crouching medium kick whiffs, right? Reuse connects. So despite Ryu, his crouching medium kick is indeed 1 frame slower, but it got more range than Ken's. This is something that people probably overlook, right? Ryu, yes, it's 1 frame slower, but it got more distance on it, right? The reach for him is further than Ken, which is a pretty big deal. I think this offsets some of his some of this lack of speed, right? Yes, Ken got the better one with the fact that it is faster, that is good, makes it harder to attack Ken, but I think that the enhanced range, that is actually a pretty big deal. So his hitboxes are pretty great. Now another move that people don't talk about so much about Reus and his neutral is the forward heavy kick. This move is amazing right now, right? This move is insane, right? If Ken is doing a lot of that like heavy crouching medium kick spam, this move is really good now. And obviously you can get a combo into OD Tatsu and you can do this super late. Check out how late I'm canceling this and I'm still getting the combo, right? And even if Ken is blocking here, this move got very good pushback now and the range on it, right? Check out how far this reaches. Ryu got range. Let's not pretend that this is a character that doesn't got range or good hitboxes. He does. He absolutely does, right? Let's talk about another major point of contention for many of the Shoto fans, and that is the standing heavy punch. Standing heavy punch is like a Shoto privilege in this game. All of them got amazing standing heavy punch. But check this out. Ryu's heavy punch is 10 frame startup, 5 frame active. Ken is 10 frame startup, 5 frame active. Ken got 1 less frame of recovery, so his is technically like 1 frame better, right? But let's check out the hitboxes because hitbox is still a big story in this game. And as you can see, disjoint, right? Again, Ryu got a situation where the hitbox is bigger than the hurt box, he will reach you from further, right? Now, let's talk about the potential reward. Right? Can get a punish counter heavy punch. He's getting a crouching medium kick, right? This is one of the best things about him. What does Ryu get on a punish counter heavy punch? He's +8. He's getting a crouching medium kick, right? So that's good. What does Ken get on a regular hit? Typically, Ken will do like run tatsu. Let's turn off the punish counter. Typically, Ken will combo into the uppercut, maybe he will combo into the run tatsu. I think that's good. Ryu, he gets a donkey kick, right, which does pretty respectable damage. He can go for a medium tatsu for corner carry. He can go for light tatsu and then like obviously get the Oki here, which is pretty powerful. If he got Denjin charge into like Denjin, and this is even more damage, and God forbid you got OD Denjin, because this now leads to a ton of damage, right? And this is hit confirmable, right? This is hit confirmable. Check out again the frame data, right? Because here this is Ken's. Let's turn this one off, right? Check out the special and CA cancel window. It is 19 frames, right? So this is a relatively easy hit confirm, right? That's why you see in a lot of high level Ryu players, they will get the Denjin charge and then consistently fish with the heavy punch, late cancel, and you still get massive damage. And obviously I can get like big rewards if I want. Bam, 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 and you can extend it as much as you want, however you're willing to spend, right? So if Ryu got Denjin charge, this standing heavy punch, which is already ridiculous, right? 10 frame, 5 frame active, disjoint, becomes a hit confirmable nuclear weapon. So that's great. Now, it doesn't stop there, because this move also does pretty respectable chip. Ryu can do it into like, let's say he got the Denjin charge, or even without it, right? This is pretty much a chip simulator. Check out how much damage to Ken's drive gauge he's experiencing. Check out some of these sequences showing you like Ryu's chip damage, right? I got this from Street Fighter 6 high level replay, a match between Naru and Kawano. And Naru is the top, he's the #1 ranked Ryu player right now. So let's check out what he's doing, right? Check out the Akuma's drive gauge. Again, check this out. Check out how much chip Ryu did to Akuma's drive gauge. Actually here, Kawano had to get hit by the crouching jab to avoid being burnt out, right? Okay. Let's check out another sequence. Again, pay attention to the drive gauge over on the top left, right? Pay attention to the chip that Akuma is experiencing. Right. Let's check out another sequence. This one is actually kind of savage. Again, keep a close attention on Kawano. This is Kawano, by the way. This is an Evo champion, right? Take a look at his drive gauge, right? Again, let's watch it. Check out how the drive is melting. And obviously this brings me to my next point, which is the move that you're seeing over and over and over here, right? Obviously talking about neutral, one move I haven't talked about yet is this one. Solar Plexus, because Solar Plexus is super strong right now, right? What other character got a forward advancing, double hitting mid move that can be +3 on block and doesn't require spacing? Right? The strength of Solar Plexus is, as you saw Naru was using it, it's a party starter, right? Because if they happen to block it, take a look at this, right? Ken pretty much got to block my crouching medium punch because he can't press anything. Like if he tried to press like a slide punch after, he gets hit here, right? And this can even lead to more damage, so he can't press. So this means that this is pretty much guaranteed. And take a look at how much shape damage I did, right? And obviously he can try to go for a drive parry afterwards, and if he did, that's a throw, and that is 2 bars gone. So the prospect of just trying to parry here, that is a pet. That is a dangerous pet, right? And something that you saw over and over is him doing heavy punch into OD Hashogeki. This obviously leave Ryu again at a +3 advantage. So it's kind of the same situation where you can absolutely just attack your opponent drive with Ryu's heavy punch, right? But let's get back to Solar Plexus, because in the previous patch, Solar Plexus got a pretty big buff. And the buff is, well, you can't walk out of it that easily, right? I'm gonna record this Ryu walking here and then doing the Solar Plexus, right? And I'm gonna turn on my inputs so that you can see this, right? Solar Plexus got something that is called the proximity block, and the proximity block on it is ridiculous, right? See this? While I'm holding back, I can't back walk. Let's actually put the game at 50% speed so that you are seeing this, right? Although I'm holding back, Ryu is completely stuck in place. He gets and assumes a block stance the moment the opponent Ryu goes for a Solar Plexus, right? And this is amazing because this makes this move pretty hard to whiff punch, right? Now you can tell me, Mura, well, there is always drive impact, right? And yeah, I mean, this move is susceptible to drive impact, but drive impact is never a reliable answer, right? If a move's entire counter is, well, it's susceptible to drive impact, that to me is a good move. And again, remember, Ryu got an amazing crouching medium kick, he got a forward heavy kick, he got Hadoken, so it's not like the only move he got from this range, right? Yeah, this can happen a lot, and if that happens, well, it is disaster time because you're getting wrecked, right? So I don't even think DI is that reliable of an answer to this move, right? Now let's talk about Hadokens. Because, and let's bring Akuma, because Hadoken is also an area where people say Ryu suffers, right? And Akuma does have better Hadoken, right? His Hadoken is 46 frames total, his heavy Hadoken is faster. I think we got that on point. But one thing that Ryu got is a pretty decent fast heavy fireball. It's not as fast as Akuma, but it's really good. But Ryu got a tool, and that tool is kinda underplayed, I think, by Ryu players, which is this one, Hashogeki. Hashogeki is pretty much a fireball feint, especially like the light one. You can absolutely use it as a fireball feint. Let's actually bring a double Ryu here because I'm gonna show you what I mean. This is what happens, right? And Mura, no one does this. Again, let's check out one of these clips, right? Another clip by Naru. Naru is doing a lot of work right now, right? This is Naru, who is a top Ryu. He's fighting Akuma, who got a better fireballs, and he absolutely is using his Hashogeki to bait parries out of Kawano, right? And take a look at the damage from Solar Plexus. So it's an applicable strategy, right? Yes, his fireballs may not be as strong frame data wise as Akuma and Ken, but the fact that he got a way to bait parries and possibly drive rush and get a punish, I think that's good, right? I think that is really, really good. It's something that you will see in a lot of top level Ryu gameplay. But Mura, he doesn't get rewarded as much on an OD Fireball and then Drive Rush. Which I think that is true somewhat. Say Ken does this, he can get like combos. So if I do this with Ken, right, Ken gets this, which is pretty amazing, right? Let's not sugarcoat it, that is insane, right? Now, if I am doing the same thing as Ryu, I'm not typically getting much. Like mid-screen, Ryu doesn't get that much. At best, maybe you'll get a sweep, but this is range dependent, right? So you're not always gonna get this as well, right? So he doesn't get rewarded that much mid-screen, right? Well, there are some things he does get though. Shinku Hadoken! So he does get a level 1 super. That's pretty good. You can get a Denjan charge, and that puts you at 22 frames. That is not bad. You can get Shinku Hadoken into the charge, and he's full screen. He's not going to do anything. So that is good. If Ken is near the wall, Ryu absolutely get combos. Seems to me like Ryu did the Fireball Drive Rush thing and he got a big combo out of it. And obviously he could have cancelled to super and did like massive damage, right? So the situation is, yes, more specific for him, but it's absolutely accessible and he does get reward, right? So maybe it's not as powerful mid-screen, although getting like a level 1 super is certainly not bad. Obviously, you do need the opponent to have like absorbed a fireball of their own to get this, but still, this is really good. Adds a good value as well. Like, you're not spending that much in terms of drive gauge, right? So that is pretty great. Now, let's talk about the damage output, right? Because Ryu's damage output is insane. It's actually insane. Is his throw situation, because Ryu got a pretty powerful throw loop. You just whiff jab and then throw, and that's it, right? You whiff jab, you're +4, right? And this is also really good because let's say that we got Ken to backdash on wake up. So I'm gonna set Ken here to backdash on wake up, right? Take a look at this. Ryu is -3. -3 means that he's safe on this throw loop, right? Ken got one of the fastest backdashes in the game at 23 frames, and he doesn't punish him. You can get, right? Let's say I did this target combo. I got the dungeon buff. Bam, 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 bam. Uppercut. Bam. You can. This combo did 69%. By the way, 69%. On a throw loop that is safe, and if the opponent happened to tech, 69%. Right? Take a look at Ken's HP. All I did was this target combo, which is pretty much safe, by the way, because you can confirm this. Right? Almost sets up a spacing trap of its own, right? Easy hit confirm, you don't commit to the third part, and if you happen to get it, well, they explode, right? So insane damage. Let's check out another clip by Naru, right? Where we get to show you some of Ryu's damage output, right? Check out the sequence. On Akuma, obviously, so you gotta take it with a grain of salt, but Akuma here got a solid 60% or so, right? Check out Ryu's potential damage output. Sure, you can. Right? right? This actually brings me to a pretty good point as well that people probably don't look at that much, and that is Reus drive rush overhead, because his drive rush overhead is +7 on hit, which means that he can combo immediately into a heavy uppercut, and if he want, he can cancel that into super, and this immediately does insane damage. Take a look at the scaling. 51% if I got critical art, but Ryu also get a back heavy bunch on this. Especially if you're crouching, right? You gotta be crouching, and obviously you're gonna hit the overhead on a crouching opponent, right? So I don't know any other character that gets a heavy after a drive rush overhead. Obviously means that if you're near the wall, like you're getting the back heavy kick, back heavy punch into the heavy donkey into the uppercut and all of this, right? So his damage output is potentially very, very high, right? And I don't think this is well documented. Everyone knows how good Ryu's damage output potentially is, right? And obviously he got a pretty good jab. The range on his jab 4 frames, pretty long. He got a 5-frame light kick, which is pretty long. He got Hashogeki, which is extremely rewarding in terms of block strings. Say for example this Ken here, he will block and then he will try to mash. Right here I get like a counter hit launcher, and this is a party starter. I can get a lot of damage out of that. He got other tools in the neutral, like this medium donkey kick. This is a very, very strong neutral tool that doesn't have a lot of answers except just perfect parry pro, so that is also pretty good. Kawano here is at full HP. Kawano's at full HP. Naru is at he dies from a like one small combo, probably survives the grab, and he got 4 drive gauges and 1 super meter, right? Let's take a look at this. Uppercut, will blade, solar plexus, pretty good. Your plus, so Kawano's afraid of pressing. Pretty good way to chip. Now he noticed that he can start to maybe go for a chip sequence on Kawano. Throws fireball, nice. Solar blixing abuse. Again, Kawano don't wanna press because he knows Ryu's damage output. Safe throw loop situation, that is really, really good, one of the best in the game. Overhead, still plus. Bam, shimmy, and this. One other thing that I haven't mentioned when it comes to his overhead is that Ryu's overhead is +3 on block. Let's actually not get him to block as well. This is actually extremely uncommon, and it's 20 frame startup, and it got a lot of forward momentum. So if I do like drive rush jab with Ryu, he stops at the big line. If I go for an overhead, he slides all the way to Ken. So it's relatively fast overhead, and 20 frames, it's one of the fastest in the game, and he slides forward, he's +3, and he's +7, which means that if you're close enough, you're getting like a back heavy bunch. Obviously, if they're crouching, let's make him crouch. That's how they're realistically gonna get hit by this, right? Right, into big damage. Or if they happen to block it, you are +3, so you get a guaranteed crouching medium bunch. So, right. Another thing I wanted to mention with Ryu, this is gonna happen, right? If you're trying to shake a drive rush, he got the Luke, the DJ ability to just go for a special and punish countering you for trying to shake him. So what I'm trying to say is Ryu is good. I think he's good. I think Ryu is top 10, Ken is top 10, Akuma is top 10. All 3 of them, you may debate which one is technically the best, but Ryu is absolutely in the conversation. If you think Ryu, after all that I've showed you, if you still think that Ryu is far off from being in the stock, then I will let the result and time will prove that this character is extremely good. We even got pro players like Big Bird saying he's very strong. We got players like Mago saying he's very strong. It's not like a crazy idea. Big Bird even said he's top 5, which is kinda like he's really believing in him. Anyways, we will see. We will see, right? If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. Help the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.